Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us on your Sunday afternoon. Mr. Credit here, listening to a very special edition of the Real Estate Debate. It's called the Redfin Roundtable. We have 3 agents from Redfin.com, San Diego, right here in the studio. We also have my co-host today, Dale Intrikin with Synergy One Lending and HomeLendingSanDiego.com. This has become something that I think is just barely touching what's possible in San Diego, and that is listing your home with Redfin.com. So what I would love to do is have each of our guests in the studio today tell us why someone should consider using Redfin.com to list their home for sale if they're going to be selling their home, obviously, and why they should do it. Willie.
So this is one of the reasons why I love coming on the show, Derek, because I know that it still baffles me how many people I speak to out there in the world that do not know that Redfin is a full-service brokerage. Let me say that again, a full-service brokerage, meaning if you want to sell your home, you can sell your home with us. If you want to buy a home, you can buy your home with us. So today, specifically talking about listing your property with Redfin, I do represent mostly buyers, but I also help clients sell from time to time. And it's funny, when I sit down and do this listing consult, it's like the biggest no-brainer. I tell people in my circles that coming to Redfin was the second biggest no-brainer. The first was marrying my wife. But using Redfin, first of all, let's just talk numbers. Let's just talk brass tacks here. 1.5% to list with Redfin. Okay, so what are the naysayers going to say? They're going to say, well, what am I losing? So you're telling me that I'm going to save a full percent, but what am I sacrificing? The answer to that is nothing. In fact, you're going to get even better service. You're going to get more tools at your disposal. And I think I won't steal the thunder from the rest of us here, but we'll talk about some of those tools. And we just did in the previous segment about the 3D walkthrough. That's just unbelievable. And let's just have some fun here for a second. How did we get away for so long in this market calling a slideshow a virtual tour? Right? Literally, collectively as an industry, how did we get away with that for so long? So we actually give you a 3D walkthrough. So if you're listening to this show right now and you have not tried that out, go to redfin.com, look at a property that you were interested in, and do the 3D walkthrough.
A Redfin listing.
As long as it's listed by Redfin, because we are the only brokerage, as far as we know, in the country that has that.
Just click the little icon that's red.
Yep.
Yeah, there's like it's like a red roof, right? That's on the little house when you're on Redfin.com, and it's a Redfin listing.
Exactly. Yep. I love it when I go to call a listing agent when I have an out-of-town client, say I'm just going to go by to video the property. They're like, oh, we already have a virtual tour. And I'm like, do you really have a virtual tour, or is it just a slideshow? And they go, it's a slideshow. And I go, then it's not any better than just a bunch of pictures. So I need a video.
So they zoom in on the still pictures and put music behind.
They rotate them quicker. It feels like you're walking.
But quickly in summary, Derek, it's always about using Redfin, whether you're buying or selling with Redfin. It's always about the marriage of technology and a local expert at your disposal. That's what you get. And there's a lot of brokerages out there that can give you an excellent agent. And we know tons of them, but the technology that we have to offer on top of that, with that personal customer service, is it's unparalleled.
Any specific numbers we should know, Willie, about?
The average number, if you were to list with Redfin in San Diego County, would be about $15,300. That would be your savings if you chose to list with Redfin.
You would say $15,000.
$15,300
in your pocket.
In your pocket.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Sorry, that's worthy of a teaching. Okay, and this is based on the information that you guys have accumulated over probably hundreds of transactions. So it's not like this is one person who saved 15. This is an average over a big number. The average home seller put an extra $15,000 in their pocket. That's crazy. Cherie, why list with Redfin?
Well, Redfin listings get more exposure. We are one of the top online brokerages as far as having properties available to view online. And being a Redfin listing, you get prime coverage on the website. We don't offer that to any other listings. Everything else is just syndicated in from the MLS. So we do give prime coverage to our sellers that are listed with us. They automatically show up at the top of the search. They get a big red icon with a big red R on the map, so it draws in extra attention to their listing. We also run a banner ad on the right-hand side of the page to draw in activity of maybe somebody looking in a different area. And then second, Redfin provides each listing with a customized and highly targeted email campaign when we go live on the market. If you can imagine, we have over a million users in San Diego browsing our website each month. And what that means is we have a lot of contacts that most traditional agents would die to have. So those contacts are our direct marketed campaigns when you go live on the MLS and it syndicates to Redfin. When we have an open house, if we have a price reduction, we have a tool called last call. And when we get an offer in, we can give our sellers the opportunity to send out an email campaign to anybody who's favorited the home or it meets their criteria. Maybe they've already seen it. We can send out a last call email saying, hey, we have an offer in. We're reviewing it tomorrow at 5. This is your last chance to get your offer in. And then finally, Redfin agents are paid on customer satisfaction, not on commission. So when they list with us, I have to do a good job in order to do well for them. So I'm paid on a salary, and then when we close on a transaction, Redfin sends them a survey and asks if they would recommend me to their family and friends. And based on that survey response, we get a small bonus. So their satisfaction is what is our number one priority.
Yeah. So you're incentivized to do a good job.
Yes.
Imagine that. How cool. Did you know that, Dale?
No, I didn't. That's really interesting. I've never heard of that pay structure in real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah. This doesn't exist anywhere else in real estate. That's why it's so cool. That's why we have to do these roundtables.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Jordan, why should I list with Redfin?
Less risk and by selling faster. So average days on market for a Redfin listing nationwide is 8 days faster than the market average. So Redfin's 23 days. The industry average is 31 days. And 72% of all Redfin listings sell within 90 days versus 63% with the national average. So that's a difference of 9%. So you're 9% more likely to sell with Redfin, and you're also going to sell 8 days faster on average. And so out of that that savings that Willie was talking about, that's $15,300. We're also going to, part of that is because we're charging you less, but also part of that is because our listings get more money. We end up selling our listings for more money than the market average. And so out of that $15,300 total savings is an extra $7,325 for San Diego County that we're going to sell your property more than the market average. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's cold, hard cash we're talking about here. Dale, I'm telling you. You see?
Yeah.
Do you see now?
Yeah, definitely.
Any questions?
Well, I was wondering about the 15,000. I was wondering how that breaks down.
Okay.
Because that was an interesting number. Because I think we only got to hear about the 1.5 to list. Is that for the entire listing? 1.5%?
So typically, a traditional brokerage is going to charge what, 2.5%, right?
Yeah.
5% total, 2.5% to the cooperating broker, and then 2.5% to the listing. So we just shave off a full percentage. See, on the buy side, Dale, what we do is we actually offer a refund. So we actually share a part of our commission. So if you're looking at a property on Redfin, you will actually see that number, and it's based off the list price. So if I'm representing a buyer, we make an offer on that property, get it accepted. The day that we wrote that offer, whatever that number was on the website that day, that's cold hard cash. That's going to be sent to you after the close of escrow. So when we're looking on the sell side, we're like, well, we still want to offer something extra to our clients that are selling with us. And so that's what we did. We shaved off that 1%. Now, Jordan shored up kind of the other half of that because these are numbers. These are facts. These are numbers that it's data. So we're selling for somewhere around $7,500 more than the typical brokerage. So
because of our awesome marketing and our awesome presentation of your house.
Yeah. So if you're looking at the $700,000 home, you're saving $7,000, right? The 1% savings on the list side, and then additional 7 on top of that, just because you're selling it quicker and more efficiently.
Huh, that's great. That's I mean that to me as a seller would be, everything that goes into it, all the marketing, everything, the numbers, the cold hard truth about how much you're actually gaining by working with them would be the most important, and that's a big number.
And you're getting a high level of customer service on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
And going further on the numbers, to know that you're priced right. So sure, you're just talking about coming on the market strong. Part of that is pricing your property right when you come on the market. So we're good at that because we're experts in our field and we're localized. And so we're able to tell you how to price your property. But then that's not good enough. So we have a home dashboard. So if you're listing with us, you got a private website, and it's going to give you private data just for your listing. So I sold my house earlier this year with Redfin, and it was awesome. So put it on the market, checked in a day later, and I was able to see that I had more page views, I had more favorites for my listing than the market average, 4 times the average. And that made me know I priced it right.
So you had analytics, basically.
I had analytics.
You get analytics.
Real
So
time.
All sellers get this.
All sellers.
Analytics tell you how many views, favorites, the activity on your house.
Exactly.
That's huge. Oh, that's so huge. Because how many times, well, in a traditional setup, someone overpriced their home, but they don't understand that they've overpriced it. And I know because traditional agents will struggle sometimes with having to go back to the seller and say, okay, it's been 2 months, you ready to listen to me now? But I guess you could figure that out a lot faster if you had a dashboard that was telling you, hey, you're way below the average here as far as how many people have favorited, how many people are looking at this house. You're not getting the eyeballs. There's a reason. It's the price.
I had an escrow rep talk about the listing a house and he had a friend of his that had a property that was listed, and he talked about how overpriced it was and how it sat on the market. One of the things he said is you missed your grand opening. And I thought grand opening is kind of a really great term for what you're doing. When you first put that house on the market, he said you missed it.
Yep.
Blew it.
That's huge. And that's exactly what Sheree said. You have to make sure you do well. You're listening to the Real Estate Debate. Today it is the Redfin Roundtable here on AM 760 KFMB. Coming up, we're going to talk about some of the new technology at redfin.com. Stick around. We'll make you smarter than everyone else.